So the late Dolores Cannon said that every single one of us is psychic. Sorry. Do you see yourself as psychic? I never did see myself as psychic. Until a couple of years ago, after my awakening, my clairvoyance switched on. And that was like fascinating. And I felt so supported by the universe because this one particular time, I couldn't find something I was looking for. And as I was like scattered and looking all over, I just got the clear picture in my mind's eye exactly where the thing was that I was looking for. And there it was. And then on several other occasions, several similar things started to happen. And aside from my clairvoyance, meaning I was seeing, I was also receiving things through my mind's eye. And then also I had clairsentience turn on. And that was being aware that I was picking up feelings of other people in my environment because I'm not naturally emotional. And then, aside from the clairsentience, sometimes there was also claircognizance, meaning that instinctively I had a knowing about things. So that was already 3 clairs. I was always like not very keen to experience the clairaudience because I don't know how would I trade the peace that I have in my head, with voices in my head. I think it would drive me crazy. So I just said, please, no, I don't want any noise. no clairaudience here. But at the same time, I want to hear the plants. I want to hear them because I know that the plants know each of us and they know us by name. And I do have my special tree out there. So when I telepathically greet him in the morning, when I'm out before the sun, because I've come to watch the sunrise, I send him a telepathic message, good morning, Gerald, and good morning, I say hello to all my trees and all my plants. But I don't hear them say hello to me, and that's maybe because I'm resistant to clairaudience. I want to hear them, but I also don't want to hear random voices. And I'm scared that once I go in that direction, or maybe I do believe you can switch it off so you can modulate it and regulate it. You don't have to just allow everything to come in, because it's also about protecting your own personal boundaries, when your clairs start switching on. And don't believe it's from the devil, because if you believe it's from the devil, you're giving power to the devil that he doesn't deserve. The devil can't create, he can only destroy. You must remember that. We're made in God's image, so we're the creators. And we must remind ourselves every day, when we say good morning to ourselves in the morning, good morning, Creator, remind yourself that you're a creator. We're shedding the identity of sinner, okay? Because we tapping into our true gifts, and I'm not saying that the clairs are gifts. I think the clairs are just innately things that come with our human, that the church and religion has turned us against and has said, no, we don't need that kind of influence because they want to control our purse strings. So I'm just here to shine the light of revelation on them, okay? And saying that and the only reason why our clairs switched off is probably because the family that we were born into didn't allow that to happen. They said, no, don't talk about that in this family. Here we get together as a family and we pray together. That was what was happening in my family. But somebody reminded me last week that all roads lead to heaven. And I just want to remind us that humans, every single human being that you come into contact with, that's your neighbor. It's the person in front of you that Jesus suggested that we love. So I want you to learn to love your neighbor, okay? And if you have problems loving yourself, because the command was love your neighbor as yourself. If you have problems loving yourself, you're going to have problems loving your neighbor. So if you hang around this channel, one of the side effects that you're going to end up with is loving yourself. Okay, because here we do the inner work. We do the work that the ordinary person isn't prepared to do because it's hard. It's hard to face yourself. It's hard to be committed to a path of correction, and to be committed to doing away with any trace of corruption in your being, and to showing up into the world as the purest expression, the purest and most joyful expression of yourself. There's a lot of people that don't know joy. But here on this channel, that's one of the things that we focus on. Not so much happiness, because happiness is an externally motivated activity, whereas joy is internally motivated. And once joy switches on, it doesn't switch off, baby. It remains on, regardless of what's happening in your life. So I hope that I can be of service to you and that I can be of inspiration. There's so much happening in the world, and there's so much war and effort for our attention, and the media is trying to capture our attention and keep us in fear. And I want you to pay attention to that. So that if you're feeling fearful, put your hand on your heart and send some love to your heart. Say, I love you, heart. And say, I love you to yourself. And don't forget to be kind to yourself. Till later, alligator. I love you.